the realisation that although I was a very successful person in the eyes of the world, there was a feeling of real emptiness and that question of, there must be more to life than this. I suppose I started to explored many, many different courses, and after participating a lot in these things, I decided I'd like to design my own courses and certainly bring that sort of work into teacher education. There are now a range of courses. I started off with one called Discovering Your Potential, which was very successful. I sometimes had 60 odd people on the course at a time. I now then designed one called Healing the Wounds of Childhood, because it became obvious to me that a lot of people's the struggles they had in life went right back to very early experience. There's one called Creative Anger, which is about how to cope with not only your own anger but the anger of other people and not escalate your anger into violence and things like that. People were asking me about relationships, so then I designed one called Intimate Connections. People wanted advanced courses, so I designed one called Awakening the Warrior Within, which was a very high level indeed. And then eventually I decided that we needed to design a course that was suitable for people who wanted to take this into their professional life. I designed a course and set it up with the University of Derby. It was validated by the university, and the postgraduate certificate in emotional education is awarded by the University of Derby and Atlow Mill Centre.
Before I arrived at the centre, I'd had a lot of rough times through life, and I suppose it gave me a greater way of accepting myself, and certainly once I became aware of how my behaviour was, I had a greater choice in how I chose to behave. We do public courses to the public, so anyone can come on our weekend courses. We do a full range of courses from a one-day introduction day right through to a Masters in Emotional Education now with Derby University. That's our newest course. But we've got a very clear pathway where you can come and do the academic side of emotional education, or you can do a personal development side and come on weekend courses just for yourself to explore your own emotions and how that affects you in relationships. We have a beautiful centre in Ashbourne, near Ashbourne, which can sleep up to 22 people. Fully catered as well. It's all vegetarian home-cooked food, and it's a fantastic place to come and explore your emotions.
I've always believed passionately that this should be on the mainstream curriculum of schools, and that teachers need to be trained to do it, because at the moment there's something called SEAL in schools, which is social and emotional aspects of learning. Unfortunately, teachers do not get sufficient training. So if teachers don't have mastery and insight into their own emotional process, they can't do this with children. So I see it as a major component in teacher education. Again, the problem is who's going to do it, because few people have that depth of knowledge and understanding. In this work, you have to walk your talk.
Absolutely.
You can't tell people what to do and not be a living example of it yourself, which is tough actually.
We're offering more services more courses to the mental health arena environment, because we feel that the Centre for Emotional Education is also about emotional well-being and mental health, and we find that the two work very well together, and we're hoping to go more into that field of the mental health arena in the future as well.
It's a tool that everyone can use to live a more effective life and to deal with the struggles and difficulties of life, because life is difficult.
Absolutely.